Hello, Foundation Friday, December 1st, 2017. Steve Sipress here. Behind the scenes at the James Malinchak Big Money Speaker Boot Camp in LA. I am in the room at the VIP luncheon that is taking place behind me. Hey, thanks for all the likes. Red Olaya is here. And so James mentioned something yesterday that I loved. He calls it the 3 H's. You know, I personally, maybe I love it because I have personally hosted over 300 events for entrepreneurs, and I've attended, I don't know, probably at least 100 more. And it really makes sense, especially nowadays. Very important message, because now people are leaning on technology, and they're making the mistake. I always have a saying, and I've shared it on Wisdom Wednesday, that I live in an and world, not an or world. But most people make the mistake of living in an or world, and they're looking to replace everything that happens in person or offline with something that can be done over the internet because it's quick or easy or cheap. So instead of sending out a newsletter, I'm just going to do an email newsletter. Instead of sending a thank you note, I'm going to just give them a Facebook thank you note and send them a text message saying thank you. And there's no more the personal touch. Well, and people are replacing the live in-person seminars with, I'll do a teleseminar. I'll do a webinar. I just got to sit at home in my underwear and put a shirt on at least and turn on the technology and the camera on my computer, and I can, do a webinar all over the world. But everyone will tell you that does these, hey, Peter's here, that you need a heck of a lot more numbers when you're doing all this technology stuff as opposed to in person. And Pete is a great example of this. Now that he's here, Pete publishes a print actual newsletter that is mailed out to people. And then he hosts live events to connect possible buyers with possible sellers. And he's not for 1 second going to say, I'm going to stop publishing that monthly newsletter. We're just going to do an e-newsletter, and think that would have anywhere near the same impact. Or instead of hosting live events where I connect people, we'll just do a teleseminar and we'll talk a lot and connect people. Okay, so Brett is saying technology should enhance in-person communication, vice versa, not have technology replace the personal touch. Well, that's true. It's a long way of saying I live in an and world, not an or world. So we're not looking to replace anything. We're looking to add to it, or as Brett says, using a very fancy word there that's beyond me, but the word enhance. So I want to enhance what I'm doing. So you want to do online, great. You want to do offline, of course. But you don't want to say, I'll do online instead of offline. So here I'm at a live event, and James mentions the 3 H's of why you need to attend and ideally host, like Pete does, your own live events. What are the 3 H's? Things that you cannot do through technology that you can only do in person. It's the connection, the interactivity between people. It's handshakes, hugs, and high fives. Those are the 3 H's. Can't do any of that over a computer. And that's where real connections are made. I can take forever with text messages and Facebook messages and emails to try and get the right tone and try and make the right connection that, hey, I really care about you and, I really want to help you out and build trust and build rapport. Good luck to that. But I can look somebody in the eye, shake their hand, and say, man, I really care about you, and I want to help you succeed. What can I do to help you out? And I can do that in person in 2 seconds, as opposed to try to do that all through technology, especially nowadays where trust, in case you haven't noticed, is completely out the window. I mean, what shoe is going to fall today? What other creep is going to be exposed? Like, who did I think I trusted that I no longer trust? But in person, and that's why we're having the VIP lunch. I just hung out with someone at lunch here. Someone's from Holland, another guy Indonesia, and now the woman from Holland went over and was talking to the person from Indonesia. They were across the table. I mean, we're hanging out with people all over the country, Colorado. Somebody from Chicago now lives in Sedona. I moved from Chicago down to Scottsdale, Arizona. People from all over the country, all over the world, and we're connecting in person. If this event, and James just said, I'm going to do a big webinar and connect all you guys, it ain't going to happen. But if I can break bread, if I can have lunch with somebody, this is a 4-day event. I got plenty of chances to say hello to them in the hall and pass them and say hello to them when we're getting food and say hello to them when we're waiting in line for something and when there's a break. And I can shake hands, I can do a handshake, a hug, a high five, things you can do with your clients, your prospects, your friends, your family, for sure. We just had Thanksgiving, we're coming up for Christmas. I don't hear anybody saying, this year we're replacing our Christmas family dinner with a webinar. We're just going to do a Skype. That's it. We're going to do a Skype for Christmas. Everyone stay at home because, holiday travel is just hell. I mean, you can think of every excuse in the world why not to do in-person stuff. Of course you can. Failure is much easier than success. Hey, everyone, no plane tickets and no lines and no traffic. Just stay at home and no shopping and no cooking and no cleaning. We'll just do a Skype and we'll all say Merry Christmas and then we'll mail each other. We'll ship each other our presents and we'll just watch each other over the computer open the presents, and won't that be great and jolly? And no one ever, well, I don't know ever, but people are crazy if they say that. Or, you know what? Maybe that would be nice. But it certainly can't be anywhere near as nice as in person. You can't do hugs, handshakes, or high fives over the computer, folks. That's where real connections get made. And that's Foundation Friday for today. So Brett Elias is FaceTime for Christmas and Amazon for exactly. I mean, is that where it's going to? I'll just tell you, if it does. And if every other person trying to do business is doing everything online, you just got to celebrate. Just say, that is fantastic. Now I am absolutely mailing out more direct mail, sending more handwritten thank you notes. I'm printing another print magazine and a print newsletter. I'm hosting more in-person live events because all my competition is idiotically not doing any of that stuff, so they don't have the personal touch. If you want to yourself or you want to help other people attract quality customers, patients, clients, members, whatever business it is, it's got to be done in person. Period. End of story. Foundation Friday, December 1st, 2017. No Rhino of the day because I didn't pack them in my suitcase, and I'm here for 4 days in La La Land, LA. And I will be back again tomorrow with Success Story Saturday. Thanks for all the input, Brett Elia. Thanks for being here, Pete. Anyone else watching on the replay, thanks for all those likes and faces, and there's all kinds of things exploding all over the screen here. I'm sure that's Brett Elia because that's the kind of thing you do. Someday you're going to teach me how to do that. It's kind of fun. And that's it for today. Catch you tomorrow on Success Story Saturday, folks, from the VIP luncheon at the James Malinchak event. Steve Sipress, over and out.